Coming up on City Scene, some first responders are first in the country. We'll tell you what for. Snow, streets, and what you need to do to be safe this driving season. And even with our winter roads, we take a look at the Wonderland that is Sioux Falls this holiday season. Welcome to City Scene, right here on CityLink, where each month we go all around the departments in the city of Sioux Falls. And it's not uncommon for Sioux Falls to top lists or be the best in many rankings. And one of those places is in safety, thanks to Sioux Falls Fire Rescue and its new ISO 1 rating.
Well, I'm going to introduce to you Rob Holso. Rob Holso is the field rep for the ISO board.
I'm the field rep for the ISO territory here in South Dakota.
And tell us, what does ISO stand for?
It's Insurance Services Office.
Okay. And now that we have the ISO 1, pretty big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal. Out of 48,000 fire departments that we survey across the country, very few of those have actually achieved that ISO 1, and Sioux Falls Fire is one of those communities now. There's about 135 or so departments that have achieved that.
And we know
Class
that
1.
With out of the 130 or so, about 35 also have accreditation. So we're one of 35 with both ISO 1 and accreditation, which is a nice feather in our hat.
Oh, absolutely. You know, that's definitely puts you up there in the top 99th percentile for something like that.
Oh, that's great, and appreciate your work. Now tell us, now it's just not a fire thing. How is that all determined? Because it also has to work with other city departments.
Yes, the ISO grading, it's a 1 through 10 grading, and it's really called Public Protection Classification. We look at, you know, many different aspects for your guys' protection district, and it all includes the Metro Dispatch Center, the City Public Works and the water system, and even what you guys are doing as far as trying to create some fire prevention and community awareness here in the town. So
you're looking at really the whole big, anything if it has to do with fire from start to finish is part of this calculation, if you will. Yep,
absolutely. You know, on the fire side of things for you guys, you know, just as you know, we look at what kind of equipment you guys have, what kind of training that you conduct.
Our staffing.
Your staffing, exactly. And where your stations are placed makes a big difference.
So this is really then for the community, we can say that when we look at ISO 1 designation, is really looking at we're doing everything we should be doing to help reduce fire loss as much as we can. I mean, there's a lot of variables there, but
that's a good way to look at it. Yep, absolutely. You're up there. You know, when you get to that ISO 1 class, it usually is represents a lower loss in case of a fire.
Now, you said how many departments are you looking at? Not you personally, but
countrywide, over 48,000.
Wow.
Fire departments or fire districts.
That's amazing.
Quite a few.
Now, for when we look at designation for ISO, one of the things that we looked a lot at was just even little things like how far stations are apart and what do we have in each station. All that's critical. Can you talk about why that's important rather than just us saying, hey, this is why it's
Yes. Cool. You know, as the town grows, like Sioux Falls is a growing community, and you need to be able to have a fast and accurate response in case there is like a fire emergency. So placement for fire stations and people, you know, becomes important for that.
And especially as we keep growing.
Yep. And going forward, you need to consider those placements if you end up building a new station or something like that, just so it goes where the growth is.
Well, Rob, I appreciate you coming because you're from Rapid City coming all the way out here. And it was great to have you part of our team for this transition.
Great.
And thanks for all your hard work.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Well, Sioux Falls Fire Rescue this time of year is used to responding to accidents when those winter driving conditions come up. And that's why Sioux Falls Police want you to be aware of what this winter weather can mean when you get behind the wheel. And Lieutenant Troy Lubers also has some advice for making sure your vehicles get moved when those snow alerts come out.
Hello, my name is Troy Lubers. I'm a lieutenant with the Sioux Falls Police Department. Today we're going to be talking about winter driving tips and also how to avoid the ticket during a snow alert. Some general winter driving tips for you would be to, first of all, slow down. Everybody needs to take their time. The roads are slippery. Sometimes people have a false sense of confidence when they have all-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, or four-wheel drive. And sure, it helps you get going a lot quicker, but it really does not do a whole lot to help you slow down. The roads are slippery, so everybody just needs to take a little bit more time, maybe leave a few minutes earlier, and allow yourself a little bit more time to get to your destination. The second big thing would be to eliminate the distractions in the car. Put your cell phone away, turn down the radio, pay attention to what's going on around you, both hands on the wheel, be attentive to the road conditions and what's going on. The third thing too would be to make sure that you pay attention to what the road conditions are. Be aware of the surroundings. Look at the weather forecast if you plan a trip out of town. Make sure that you know what the conditions are going to be before you take off. And probably the other thing then would be to make sure that you have a winter survival kit in your car. Have a blanket, some warm clothing. It seems kind of silly, but take your hats and your mittens along. Make sure that you have a warm coat. Be prepared for the fact that you might go into the ditch and you might be stranded for a period of time and that you need to stay warm. Throw some granola bars in the car, have something to snack on, maybe a bottle of water or two, so that you have something that you can sustain yourself until help arrives. And finally, the last thing would maybe have a cell phone charger. Make sure that your cell phone's charged so that if you do have an emergency or you go into the ditch, that you have something that you can be able to contact help as well. South Dakota is the land of infinite variety, and we have all kinds of different things that happen to us. If the wind comes up, we need to be prepared for those changing conditions in the blink of an eye. When it snows enough that the streets need to be plowed, the city will declare a snow alert. When that happens, you need to make sure that you move your vehicles off of the street so that you avoid getting a parking ticket or perhaps even towed. One of the things that is a good way for you to be able to avoid that ticket is to sign up for the snow alerts through the City of Sioux Falls website. Go to siouxfalls.org/snow. You'll find all the information there about when snow alerts are issued and also a handy link to be able to sign up to get a text message or in fact an email to be able to get alerted to when that snow alert's issued. So if you're parking on an emergency snow route, anytime that there's at least 2 inches of snow on the ground, you need to move your vehicle off of the emergency snow route until it's been plowed curb to curb. If the snow continues for a period of time and it looks like we're going to be plowing snow routes for throughout the day, you need to make sure that you remove your vehicle from the snow route and keep it off the snow route throughout the day, because we may have gone through once in ticketed vehicles, but we may come back and do that again if there's a vehicle parked on the snow route. Once the snow alert's been declared, the city has a procedure that it goes through where we go into Zone 2 and we start plowing either east, west, or north-south streets. Pay attention to where you live, where the definitions of the boundaries are for each particular zone, and then make sure that you get your vehicle off the appropriate street during that time frame. Police officers typically try to get out ahead of the plows, and we write parking tickets to get the vehicles out of the street so that it makes it easier for the snow plows to get through. Within 24 hours, we begin our towing operations, or we'll come back and we'll start trying to tow the vehicles that have been plowed in by the snow plows. Typically, we will do that anywhere from 24 hours after the snow event up until 5 days afterwards. So it's up to you to get your vehicle off the street so that you can avoid that tow charge that comes with it. So a couple big things for you to remember. When there's a snowstorm approaching, make sure that you stay up to date with the local media. Look at the weather conditions. Be aware that if there's 2 to 3 inches of snow forecast, the city may issue a snow alert at any time, and that you need to be prepared for that. Watch the local media outlets, the newspaper, the television, the radio, and be prepared for that snow alert to be issued. Look at the city's website. Go again to siouxfalls.org/snow. Sign up for the text message alert as well as the email alert so that you can be forewarned when that snow alert is going to be issued. And then the big thing is to make sure that you get your vehicles off the street so you can avoid those parking tickets.
Well, it's Burrs and Bears coming together as Great Bear celebrates its 50th birthday along with Frosty Frolics. Alicia, take it.
Thanks, Jolene. Today we're at Great Bear Recreation Park and we're speaking with Dan Greider. Thanks for being here today, Dan.
You bet, Alicia.
And we're going to be hearing a little bit about the 50th anniversary of Great Bear, which is very exciting. And we're going to hear about some other exciting things that are happening at Great Bear this season.
Absolutely.
So, thanks for being here today.
Okay.
Dan, let's start out with Great Bear in general. This is a big year for you guys.
It is. This is actually the 50th year that Great Bear has offered skiing to the Sioux Falls area. So we're very excited. Back in 1966, a guy by the name of Ron Clifford had a dream. He established a ski area, and 50 years later, here we are.
And what a beautiful day for us to be out here doing this too, by the way.
This is perfect. This is the great start to a season.
It is. And so you're going to kick off that 50th year with a celebration. And so do you want to speak to a little bit about that celebration?
You bet. On January 7th of 2016, we're going to have a reception. And we're inviting all the previous owners, board members, park directors, significant people that have helped make Great Bear what it is today. We're going to have some live music, we'll have some appetizers, we'll do a little show, some presentation. Just a big thank you to everybody that's got us here.
Perfect. And now that is tied in with our Frosty Frolics event as well, that you join us in every single year. And so we appreciate you being a partner with us on Frosty Frolics weekend also. So not only will you have the Thursday event, but you're going to have other events out here throughout the weekend as well, correct?
Absolutely. The Thursday reception will kind of kick off Frosty Frolics this year. On Friday night, we've got $5 tubing. On Saturday night, we've got live music. And then Sunday, we've got the Kello all-age ski and snowboard races. So it's a full weekend at Great Bear.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And now, Dan, can you speak to, you've been running this place for quite some time, and we're excited to have you operating it. It's been, we've seen so many improvements over the years. And I think it'd be nice for people to know, what do you think is your #1 accomplishment that you've seen happen at Great Bear since you've been operating it?
Well, since I got involved at Great Bear in 1992, at that point, the Great Bear almost ceased to exist. And the Parks Department and our board formed a partnership to keep this going. Back in those days, we were seeing 10,000 visits a year. Now we see 50,000 visits a year. We have grown with the community. We have given so many people, the joy of learning a lifetime sport. It just keeps giving back. I learned how to ski here in the 70s, and I'm just so excited and proud that we've been able to keep this going and pass it on to future generations.
Wonderful. And now you've, done a lot of different improvements. It looks great out here. People want to come out here. It's a place to be. Speak to the new tubing hill that will be opening this year.
Well, this year we redesigned our tubing hill. In the past, we'd had 4 lanes and a handle tow lift system. It was a little slow, a little inefficient. We were able to put together a plan where we were going to double the number of downhill lanes, plus we put in an uphill conveyor, plus we did some infrastructure work that should allow us to get the tubing hill open much faster, more efficient for the guests, more fun for everyone.
Wonderful. Well, again, it's going to be a fun-filled weekend celebrating Great Bear and all that you guys do out here. So again, thank you from Park and Rec and our team. And make sure you check out our website and that you come out here and enjoy all the fun that you guys have to offer all season long, not just that weekend.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great year at Great Bear.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Alicia.
Well, joining me now is Dave Fisher, who's the Assistant Director of Parks and Recreation, and we're going to be talking a little bit about what you want to share about Great Bear, because Dave, you've been involved in this project for a long time, and so can you tell us, with your tenure with Parks and Rec, what have you seen happen at Great Bear?
I think probably the biggest thing to me has been it's become a real regional attraction for winter sports. We do real well in the summertime in Parks and Recreation. There's tons of things to do, but in the wintertime it gets a little tougher to find something to do. Great Bear has really become a hub of winter recreation activity for the entire region over the past 25 years.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, all the improvements that have happened, that's been a partnership that has really progressed over the years. Can you speak to that a little bit too, with the board that the Great Bear has and working with Park and Rec?
Sure. Back in 1991 is when we first became involved in taking the ski area back over, and it was a case where we partnered with some of the leadership from private businesses in Sioux Falls who formed a corporation or who incorporated into Great Bear Recreation Park Incorporated, and we did an agreement with them to manage the area. And between the two of us, they did some private fundraising. We did a joint master plan, involved the community, and from there the thing just continued to grow and get better until what you see today.
And there's a lot to offer out here. Dan was speaking to the new improvements with the sledding hill that they have, and just the increase in attendance over the years. It's just been a real asset to Park and Rec. Don't you agree?
Yeah, no question about it. Like I say, when it comes to summertime, we've got more stuff than you could possibly ever do. But when it comes to wintertime, it's a little different. And so at Great Bear, you've got the downhill skiing, you've got the tubing, you've got hiking on the trails back in through the hills, and it's absolutely beautiful scenery back in there. It's just a real wintertime mecca of activity.
Perfect. And we did speak a little bit about Frosty Frolics event, and so we're going to be having that event in January. And maybe you can just speak to the improvements we've made for that event also throughout the years and the partnerships that we have.
Yeah, that's another one that's continued to grow. And we do partnerships with all kinds of organizations. Great Bear is one. We do some things in conjunction with the Great Bear operation with the Mary Jo Wagner Arboretum. And then at community centers and really ice rinks, we try to involve all kinds of people and all kinds of activity, and that's an event that has continued to grow as well and very well received by the public.
Absolutely. And what's great about that weekend is a lot of them are free activities that people can get involved in outdoors in the winter.
Correct.
Now, if people want more information on this, where can they find some of that information?
All of the details that they'll need in order to participate in Frosty Frolics can be found on the website at www.siouxfalls.org/parks.
Perfect. And it also is available in our activity guide that everybody will be receiving in their mailboxes. And you can also call our park office at 367-8222 with any questions. Come out and join us for all the fun.
Still to come, some new technology is helping you research the past at the library, and then it's fuel and the falls at the old Courthouse Museum.
In an emergency, seconds can save lives. That's why Sioux Falls Fire Rescue has partnered with Pulse Point Foundation to bring you an innovative app that can alert CPR-trained citizens by smartphone of a sudden cardiac arrest near them. It provides the location of the victim as well as the nearest automatic external defibrillator. To learn more, log on to our webpage or download the app today.
They're glowing beacons that light our way. Streetlights in the city of Sioux Falls illuminate our travels, brighten our roads, and keep us safe. So what do you do if you see a streetlight out or malfunctioning? The City of Sioux Falls has made it easy to report a problem in your community with the Streetlight Hotline at 373-6979 or log on to siouxfalls.org. Give them as much information as you can, and crews will be out to fix the problem as soon as possible. Thank you for helping make Sioux Falls a better place to live.
Welcome back. It's a subject that for many people is uncomfortable to talk about, but it can be a health and safety concern and a growing one in the city of Sioux Falls. STDs are increasing at a dramatic rate, and the city is offering free screenings of community health to help out. Mary Michaels tells us more.
Welcome to City Scene. I'm Mary Michaels with Live Well Sioux Falls here in the Sioux Falls Health Department. And when we talk about health, oftentimes we think about how we feel, whether we have a cold or the flu, or perhaps whether we're even dealing with a chronic condition like diabetes or heart disease. But there's another aspect of our health that is very important, even though it is a sensitive subject to talk about, and that is our sexual health. And with me today is Andrea Wilson. Andrea is with the HIV Prevention Outreach Program here at Falls Community Health. So Andrea, tell me a little bit about why sexual health is an important topic for people to discuss and to know about.
Well, over the past several years, the number of sexually transmitted infections reported in South Dakota has increased dramatically. While chlamydia has always been our most commonly reported STD, right now we're really seeing our largest increases in cases of gonorrhea and syphilis. Our rate of gonorrhea in Minnehaha County alone has tripled since 2011. And last year, we've seen more cases of syphilis than we have since the 1970s, and we're on track this year to see even higher numbers. So it's really an issue that's of concern for us right now.
I know that December 1st was World AIDS Day, and when there's celebrities in the news, HIV is back in the news again. And not only HIV, but other STDs still remain an important topic, although sometimes it takes some of those high-profile individuals to be out there to remind people that this still really is a public health issue. And are there particular populations that we're seeing more at risk?
Absolutely. In South Dakota, the population that's at highest risk is really our younger population. The majority of cases are among 15 to 24-year-olds. In Sioux Falls, over half of all reported cases are among 20 to 29-year-olds. That being said, the trends also exist among 30 to 39-year-olds, so we really want to make sure that we're reaching out to those populations as well. There's a number of factors that put the younger population at higher risk. including multiple sex partners, not practicing safe sex, and even trends such as social media, which have increased access to anonymous sex partners and things like that.
So even though it is a sensitive topic, and I think sometimes we maybe think, well, we're in Sioux Falls or the Midwest or South Dakota, and so this doesn't really happen here, or I don't have to worry about it. But when you think about some of those risk factors, it is something that not only young people, but people of all ages need to be paying attention to. So are there certain risks or certain signs or symptoms, or at what point should somebody stop and think, well, maybe I should get tested?
For the majority of sexually transmitted infections, it's really common to not have any signs or symptoms, especially early on. So we really encourage anyone that has multiple sex partners, having unprotected sex, sharing needles, to come in to get tested. We offer free HIV testing at Falls Community Health, Mondays from 3 to 7 and Fridays from 9 to noon. We get results within 20 minutes for HIV, and then we're hopefully going to be expanding those to include additional STD testings at no cost in the near future. We also have at Falls Community Health the Ryan White program, which offers services for those individuals that are HIV positive. It helps link them to primary medical services, and also provides access to case managers who can help link them to additional services such as health insurance or access to coverage for medications and things like that.
We know sometimes with public health messages, everything from wash your hands, wear your seatbelt, don't text and drive, some of those standard messages we just kind of get used to hearing, and maybe they get a little lost. So you have a new campaign that's starting that might be a little more attention-getting, protectyourparts.org. Tell us a little bit about this campaign and some of the resources that are going to be available.
The theme of the campaign is Protect Your Parts. It may seem a little bit more edgy than traditional health messages that we put out there, but that's because we really do want to capture the younger audience's attention and get the information out there. We've launched a website, protectyourparts.org, and it provides a range of sexual health information. It also has an interactive quiz on STD and HIV risks that can kind of test your information and your knowledge base on that. It also has a couple of different maps. There's a map that provides access to show the different clinical testing sites for STD testing here in Sioux Falls and actually in the greater eastern South Dakota region. And then it also has a map of sites of free condom distribution throughout Sioux Falls.
Well, it sounds like a great resource, and I really appreciate you being here to talk about it. It is an important topic because we need to treat that just like any other type of chronic disease, infectious disease, something that we all need to be aware of. So again, the website is protectyourparts.org, and you can go there not only to find out information about this program, but also about the testing and other support services available at Falls Community Health. So thank you, Andrea, and thank you.
The old Courthouse Museum is gearing up for a new exhibit. Falls Fuel looks at how the city has been powering up for decades.
I'm Molly Enquist. I'm curator of exhibits here at the Old Courthouse Museum, and we are going to talk about the exhibit Falls Fuel. Falls Fuel is the newest exhibit here at the Old Courthouse Museum, and what you're going to see is a little bit of everything from your gas stations, your gas station pumps, your lubesters, to anything from your World War ration stamps. You start to look at, wow, what your gas prices were when you're born. You know, you always get those birthday cards that say what the price of stuff is when you're born, and so that kind of spurs some interest, and so you kind of go, wow, that's really has changed. And then you figure out other things like full service gas stations, which that's completely changed to convenience stores almost now. So you're going to kind of see a little bit of what happened to oil to get to your gas station, and the evolution of what happened when you were at the pump and at the gas station too, and even which entails your automobile. You might like the old pump that we have, or else kind of more your 60s, 70s pump where you can still probably see some of those in some of your smaller towns. The gas stations themselves too are, the photos in the gas stations are also very nostalgic and brings back memories saying, I remember going to that gas station and Jim Bob was the proprietor there. We searched and searched for different gas stations. It's not really a focal point in most historic photos, our gas stations. So what we did, we just found as many as we could within pictures of our own, We have every gas station that we have photos of up on the wall, and we kind of tried to do a little history about each one of those gas stations. There's been a couple things that I have learned along the way. We were doing research about full service, and there are still a couple states that you can only have full service gas stations, which was really kind of interesting to us. Another thing that I found that was really interesting when we were doing a lot of the research was the people that really like to collect this stuff. We've met some really interesting people along the way that they've helped us out to gather some stuff to support this exhibit. So the exhibit's located on the second floor of the Courthouse Museum, which that is located at 6th and Main, downtown Sioux Falls. We are open 7 days a week, mostly 8 to 5. Thursday night we're open till 9, and Sunday it's 12 to 5. All of the exhibits are produced in-house, and they are also free for everybody to come see.
Thanks for joining us. Well, you can find some odd and strange creatures around this part of the country, but dragons? Yep, you can even find dragons at the Great Plains Zoo.
I'm Kylie Breams, Director of Marketing Communications at the Great Plains Zoo and Delbridge Museum of Natural History. Today I'm going to be talking about the Here Be Dragons exhibit that the Great Plains Zoo is hosting now through spring 2016. Here Be Dragons is a limited time interactive exhibit that includes real live animals and tons of hands-on activities for kids. The Here Be Dragons exhibit contains real live lizards as well as mythical dragons. So it's a fun opportunity to explore modern day dragons like lizards, as well as fairy tale figures like a fire-breathing dragon poking out of a medieval castle. Children and adults can get active in our dino dig station, trying out our catapult, or visiting one of several art stations. There's also a fun reading nook just for kids to look at books about dragons and more. Tickets to Here Be Dragons are $2 for zoo members and $3 for non-members, plus the cost of admission. We're also running a special during the month of December. If you buy a gift membership, you will receive 4 tickets to the Here Be Dragons exhibit. The Great Plains Zoo is among the first venues in the country to host Here Be Dragons. We're only the second venue to have Here Be Dragons, so it's a very exciting thing to have here in Sioux Falls. For more information about the Here Be Dragons exhibit and other activities happening this winter at the Great Plains Zoo, visit greatzoo.org.
And if you're looking for a fun place to host a birthday party, you can bring the dragons with you. The Great Plains Zoo has a party package all about dragons. You just have to contact them to schedule and learn more. Now to another cool idea. It's Winter Wonderland time, all about the city's namesake and quite the hot spot this time of year.
Hi, I'm Brian Sargent, District Park Supervisor for the City of Sioux Falls Parks and Recreation Department. Today we're in Falls Park to discuss what's going on this year at the Winter Wonderland. Winter Wonderland kicked off in late November and will run through January 10th. The lights do turn on every evening at 5 p.m. and stay on until midnight. Winter Wonderland starts for us the first week of October. We start installing lights throughout the park. It's a multiple step process. We have certain people that work just on light poles, so they're here for a couple days, get that done. Others working on tall trees, short trees, doing wreaths like that. It's divided up through all employees that work for Parks and Rec, and we will remove all of the lights in the spring, and that stuff will be tested prior to going back up again the following season. While you're touring the park, you'll be able to turn your radio to FM 97.7 so you can listen to the music that's playing within the park while you drive around the perimeter of the park. New this year, we have lights installed so we can change the color of the falls, so the water and the rocks can change colors. We can set it up so they are all a solid color, multiple colors, they can scroll through. We will have technology in place so we can sync it to the music that's playing throughout the park. So that will be changing colors with some of the trees we have and wreaths that are down here. So that's a new feature this year. Those also can be reserved for a fee, and you can do that for your special event group or a birthday. If you wanted to change the colors to red for Mother's Day or something like that, you could do that as well. Within Falls Park here, we have over 356,000 LED lights that light up the Winter Wonderland for us. All lights are LED, and this Winter Wonderland has been going on for 13 years now. Winter Wonderland is a great opportunity for families to get out, come down to the falls. You can drive through the perimeter of the park, listen to the music on the radio, or you can get out, walk the paths through the park, get up near the water, get near the snowmen and the trees. Good photo op for you and the family. And you see everyone down here that has smiles from young and old. So come out and enjoy the beautiful Winter Wonderland at Falls Park.
When we return, before the book is closed on 2015, a look at some great holiday reads.
The City of Sioux Falls encourages you to recycle. With single-stream recycling, it's even easier than ever. Containers like aluminum cans, glass bottles, and cardboard boxes can be reprocessed and turned into new products. But being conscious of what you put in your recycling bin is important as well. This helps to protect employees from hazards and reduces the contamination of other materials being processed. For more information on the do's and don'ts of recycling, visit siouxfalls.org/disposal.
All around town, from stores to playgrounds, babies are on the move. And there are diseases that are on the move too. And some of these spread easily. To best protect him from 14 serious diseases by the time he turns 2 years old, vaccinate him according to the recommended schedule, so he can go on about his business and you can have peace of mind. For more reasons to vaccinate, talk to your child's doctor or go to cdc.gov/vaccines.
Finally, this time of year is the perfect time to stay inside, grab a great book, cuddle up on the couch, and do some reading. But if you're in search of some suggestions, well, Dan Neves has you covered.
Welcome back to the library, everybody. I'm Dan Neves, and today I'm at the Crooks Branch Library with Sarah Beeler. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you.
We have not had the pleasure of talking to you yet, so everybody out there, just welcome to Siouxland Libraries. And we're here to talk about holidays and holiday books specifically. And we've talked in the past dealing with holiday crafts, holiday cooking, but there's more reading to be had during the holidays, more fun reading even than just those things. So you've picked out a few books that you think will be pretty hot this winter season.
Absolutely. When we think of holidays, we all think of food. So this fantastic book, The New Prairie Kitchen, focuses on locally sourced food here in South Dakota, in Nebraska, and in Iowa. And here in Sioux Falls, there are 2 restaurants that are featured in here with some really amazing recipes that would be fantastic for Christmas morning. The first is the pumpkin seed granola, which I made. Actually would be a great gift. There you go, Dan.
Nice, nice.
Also, MB Haskett has a great deli downtown, and they have a boozy eggnog that would also be a great start to Christmas. So that is our first cookbook that would give you all sorts of wonderful ideas. The second one is Voracious by Cara Nicoletti. This is some fiction mixed with some recipes. She has taken her lifetime of reading and condensed down the favorite parts of several books from childhood through adulthood and taken a pivotal scene in each book and created a recipe to go with that scene that involved food. For instance, in Little House on the Prairie, she takes the breakfast sausage recipe that Ma is making for Christmas morning and creates a recipe for you to make that at home. That is a great childhood recipe. If anyone has ever read Gone Girl, she takes the pivotal birthday morning breakfast scene of making crepes for the main character and creates a recipe for brown butter crepes that would also be great on Christmas morning.
I do not remember this in Gone Girl, and I read that book.
Now you'll have to read it again.
I guess so.
Okay, so that is Voracious. That will be under a lot of Christmas trees. In fact, in my very own house, I have bought it for somebody. So moving on to fiction for adults, we have a really heartwarming Christmas chocolate. 4 adult siblings are coming home. They've lost their mother in the past year. Their dad is grieving. They are coming home to share a Christmas dinner with them. And it's all the drama, the emotion, the heartwarming stuff that goes with that.
So real Christmas.
Absolutely. A family drama. And if you want to go in a different direction, instead of Christmas chocolate, you could go with a cowboy firefighter for Christmas. So everybody's dream come true. Santa's going to bring a cowboy firefighter for Christmas. So there you go.
There's so many things we could say.
That will distract you from all the list making and grocery shopping that you have to do. Something else that I wanted to talk about, I have a new CD here, the Brian Seltzer Orchestra, Rockin' Rudolph. Yeah, you know, Christmas music really gets you in the mood. If you need a Christmas music CD, a Christmas movie, come on down to the library. We've got all of them in addition to all these great books. You can also look online if you want instant gratification. Go to Hoopla on our siouxlandlib.org website, and you're going to get some Christmas music just like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Metallica to come out with their Christmas album.
Well, maybe next
someday.
year.
Yeah.
Maybe next year. Then moving on to kids' books, The Gingerbread Man Loose at Christmas. Gingerbread Man is a classic Christmas story. In this one, he is giving back. He is making gifts and distributing them amongst his community. It's a fun take on the Gingerbread Man. And if you want to search for the Gingerbread Man yourself, we have an event in Crooks, in Humboldt, and in Hartford the week before Christmas. So look online for the dates on that. That'll be a really fun Gingerbread Man search at the library.
All right. So are you going to be showcasing this book at your events there?
The Gingerbread Man in general, just kind of a scavenger hunt around the library for the Gingerbread Man and all the people and animals who are chasing him.
Sure.
So
wonderful.
And there might even be a treat at the end, you know.
All right.
Something sweet.
We've got plenty of other books in the system as well, children and adults on Christmas,
Absolutely.
including the cooking and the crafts.
Right.
And something like this is pretty awesome, pretty good gift idea.
And so easy.
So easy. It's just a stocking stuffer.
Yep, there you go. New Prairie Kitchen is going to tell you how to make it.
Absolutely. Well, this is great, Sarah.
All right.
Thanks for the advice.
Sure.
Look for these titles and more at siouxlandlib.org. Stop in, see us at Crooks or any of our locations. We can put them on hold or just take them off the shelf. And happy holidays.
Yes, have a Merry Christmas.
You too.
Namaste!
What?
We're finally on our way to India, and you still don't know any of the common words and phrases? Remember when I told you should check out Mango Languages? I've been using it, and I've been studying up on my Hindi.
I tried Mango, and I tried some books, but nothing seemed to work for me. And I'm gonna cram on the plane, so I even brought...
Good idea. I'll fire up the app.
Oh, Mango's the name of the...
You brought a bag of fruit with you, didn't you?
Learn more about how you can use Mango at www.siouxlandlib.org. Welcome to the library, everybody. I'm Dan Neves, and today I'm at the downtown library with Kim Koblank. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
And you know, we're here, it's Christmas time already. The holidays are upon us. And what does that mean? It means everybody's going to be getting an e-reader for Christmas. I've got like 3 of them on my list.
Do you really?
I do, yeah. And they keep changing. So let's talk quick about what an e-reader is.
Okay.
So what is an e-reader, Kim?
Well, there are several different kinds of e-readers. We have like smartphones and tablets often have apps that you can use for e-reading, and those seem to be the most universal types of devices when using the library's services. And then there are e-ink devices. Those are the type of readers where it's a white screen with special little black lettering on it, so when you read it, it doesn't have a glare on it when you're in the sunlight or in a really bright area. And Sony, Kobo, and Nook are probably the most common of those. And then of course there's the Kindle. They do both the e-ink reader and they do the Kindle Fire. And the thing with Kindle is they're very exclusive to their Amazon products. So it's going to be a little less compatible with other services, but it's still a really popular product. So there's a lot of different, and there's a lot of other brands out there that, you know, we can't even cover the whole gamut of brands out there, but those seem to be the most common ones that we see.
Right. Yeah, and Kindle Fire, I think I've heard has the best processor out there. But we see a lot of iPads. Samsung Galaxies are huge now.
Yes. Yes, I have one of those and I really like it.
Lucky. I read these things on my smartphone.
Yeah.
But I've got a fairly nice sized smartphone. So we're talking about e-readers and everybody wanting those for Christmas. Obviously, we're in the business of reading and literacy. How can we use those devices here?
Well, we have 3 different, well actually we have 6 different downloadable and ebooks services. 3 of them are specifically downloading ebooks and e-audiobooks. There's the Cloud Library, which is our newest service, and that's going to have the most popular and the newest things that have come out within the last year. We've been really trying to beef up that collection, so we've been putting a lot of titles into that. That does ebooks, and we're going to just be starting audiobooks with that this December. And then we have One Click Digital, and that does only audiobooks. And we have Overdrive Media, and that will be ebooks and audiobooks. And then there's also Tumble Books, which is web-based, so you can still do that on like a tablet or smartphone, but you just have to do it through the web browser. And then Hoopla does downloadable music, movies, and ebooks. And then we have
comic books.
And comic books. And it's a really neat comic book viewing because you can view it pane by pane versus looking at the entire page. So it's a nice experience for the comic reader. And then we also have Zinio, which is our downloadable magazines.
So there's a lot to go through. And obviously, so much you can do with it, so many different devices. Are there pros and cons? Does somebody need to weigh, here's the service I'm going to use more, I'm going to listen to more audiobooks, or I'm really going to be reading before they decide on a device?
Yeah, if you want something that is only for reading, and you have trouble like reading on a tablet screen where it has the glare, the e-ink device is a favorite for people that have an issue with that. You know, they have glasses and they're having trouble with a glare on a computer. They might have a trouble with a glare on a tablet. With our services, the Nook, Kobo, Sony kind of e-ink e-readers, those will do Cloud Library and Overdrive. Right now, Kindle only does Overdrive. So if you do the Kindle Paperwhite or one of the other e-ink devices, you're going to be limited to that collection, where the other 2, you have 2 different e-book collections to look through. And if you do some kind of smart device, like a tablet, smartphone, or like an Amazon Kindle Fire, then you have access to anything that's like app-based. So you have access to a lot more of our services. I think pretty much all of our downloadable services are available on those 3 types of devices, the smartphone, tablet, and Kindle Fire, as long as you have an Android or Apple server or operating system on your tablet or smartphone.
Oh, very good. So we're going to a portable world, and let's say I want to do most of what we have. I want to watch movies on Hoopla. I want to read ebooks and listen to digital audiobooks. If I'm looking for one device, I'm really looking for a tablet probably, right?
Yeah, or anything with a, Android or Apple. Okay. If you want the bigger screen, the tablet, and they come in different sizes. We have 6-inch, or they're 6-inch, 7-inch, 8-inch, 9-inch, 10-inch. They all, they're getting bigger and bigger. I've even seen like almost computer screen size ones now, so they just keep getting bigger. And people love them. You can do so much. I don't really even use my home computer anymore. I just use my tablet because it's so much easier to get out and use and more portable.
Thank you for joining me today, Kim. Everybody, if you're curious about what device you need for what service you want to use here at Siouxland Libraries, visit us online, www.siouxlandlib.org. Give us a call at 367-8720 or stop by any Siouxland Libraries location. We'd be glad to talk to you, share what we use, share what services will be compatible with what devices. Happy holidays.
Thanks, Dan, and that's good information to know since I just finished my last book last night. And that's it for us for 2015. We'll see you back here in the new year with a whole new episode and all the updates that are coming from the city and the departments in Sioux Falls. Until then, if you missed anything, all you need to do is head over to siouxfalls.org, go to iTunes, or of course, check out our podcast. And we'll see you back here in 2016.